my name is Shayna with Adventures in Fluff, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make your very own recycled t-shirt wing prefolds. So first thing you're going to want to do is just gather all your supplies. You're going to want an old t-shirt, preferably without holes, as close to 100% cotton as possible, and then something kind of on the thicker side, nothing too thin. You're going to want your diaper patterns that you can find on my blog to print out. You're going to need some fabric pins. You're going to want some scissors, a marking pen, pencil, chalk, something to mark your fabric with. You might want a ruler. You're going to obviously need your sewing machine, some thread to coordinate or contrast with your t-shirt, and then an old towel in order to create the soaker on the prefold. So first things first, you're going to want to take your t-shirt, turn it inside out. Make sure you smooth it out completely. You're going to want to just shake that out, and then maybe take it by the sides and then just lay it out flat. Next, you're going to want to take your diaper pattern, either pin or use fabric weights in order to keep that pattern down. You're going to laugh at me, but sometimes I actually use just butter knives. These ones are pretty heavy, so they keep the pattern down and in place. Then I take my ruler. You don't need a ruler, but it does help. And then I use a marker, fabric marker, and then I just trace around the entire outside edges of my pattern. Once you are finished with that, you will have your pattern completely drawn onto the shirt. Now I've already started cutting on this pattern, but you can still see how the diaper pattern is completely traced out. Now you'll just take your pattern, lay it completely straight, and what you're going to want to do is completely line the inside of your diaper pattern with pins. Now you're going to want them just on the inside of your diaper pattern, not on the outside of it, on the inside. And you'll just go all the way around the entire diaper. As many or little pins as you feel comfortable with your sewing skills. So once you have all those in, you'll take your scissors, make sure once again that your fabric is completely smooth and straight, that both the back side and the front side are lining up, and then you're going to want to cut through both sides of the t-shirt all the way around that pattern. So once you get all the way around the pattern, and I already have one that I've completely cut out, you can see that you'll have this right here. This one has pins all the way around the edges, and then the diaper pattern cut out. Now once you have that, you're going to want to take your old towel and cut it to the size of the pattern for the diaper size that you're doing, and then you're going to want to fold it in half, nice and straight, and lay it down the middle of your diaper, lined up nice. Once you have that lined up, you're going to want to take two pins and pin both the top and the bottom of your soaker onto the t-shirt diaper, just so it doesn't move around while you're sewing. Now once you have that pinned on and it's not going anywhere, what you're going to want to do is sew about 1/4 inch in all the way around the diaper, except skipping this one section, just the very bottom of the soaker. So you're going to want to start at one side of the soaker, not hitting the soaker, and then go completely around and stop right before you hit that soaker on the other side. Make sure you don't sew into that soaker. It's got to be completely free on this side. So once you have sewn all the way around, skipping that bottom section of the soaker, this is what you'll have. You can see that I have a stitch all the way around the edges. It's just a straight stitch, nothing fancy. And I have sewn across the top of the soaker, but not on the bottom. I've skipped that. So if we take out our little pin that's holding that on, you'll see that that side of the soaker is completely free, and there is also a opening at the bottom of the diaper. Now what we're going to want to do is just snip all the little corners off the diaper. This will keep the corners a little bit less bulky once you turn it right side out. Now, I've already snipped all the corners off this diaper, so we don't need to do it now. But we do need to turn it right side out. So what I'm going to do is stick my fingers inside the diaper, and I'm going to push that first corner out, sticking my finger in to make sure all the fabric's coming out all the way. And then I'll go around and do that to the next little corner, and the next corner, and the next corner. There are 4 at the bottom, and then you have the 2 wings at the top, so just creep your way up into the wings, and I usually do both sides of the wing at once. Just stick 2 fingers and push it all the way through. Just make sure all that fabric is turning right side out. You don't want any of it still pushing in. And now you can just shake it out. Get it all out. You can even stick your hand in and kind of push up at the top just so you could get that soaker completely straight in there, and your diaper completely laid out, right side out. So now the only thing that you have that is not sewn and right side out is the very bottom, that little pocket opening that we use to turn it inside out. So what we're going to want to do is flip the ends of those fabrics in toward the diaper, and it kind of works best if you do the soaker first, flip those in toward each other, and then kind of wrap the outside of the t-shirt around the edges of the soaker. So that none of the soaker is sticking out. You don't want to see any of that once you sew it. So once you have that all straight, it might even help if you stick a hot iron on it, just completely flatten out that edge and get it nice and flat. You can even stick a pin in it just so it stays where you want it while you're sewing. So I'm just going to stick a pin so I don't have to grab my iron right now. And what you're going to want to do is just do a straight stitch from one end of the bottom of the diaper to the other end. You can go completely around the diaper if you want to clean it up entirely, but it's only necessary to go through on the bottom, and so just to make it quick, I usually just do the bottom of the diaper. Make sure you're back stitching at both the beginning and end of the stitch, just so your stitches don't pull out, and just go completely across the bottom, about 1/8 of an inch in, until you get all the way across. And what you're going to have is a diaper that is sewed on all sides now, including the bottom. That hole is now completely filled up. There's no way to get to that soaker that's on the inside, and you now have a little seam stitch that's at the bottom. Now the last thing we need to do is completely seal in that soaker just so it doesn't shift around inside the diaper, especially during the washing cycle and drying cycle. So what I'm going to do is make 2 straight stitches on both sides of the soaker from top to bottom. You could also do it in a zigzag stitch if you want something a little bit more decorative, but I usually just do a straight stitch, just keep it simple. And you'll just do that about 1/8 of an inch into the soaker, just to make sure you're securing it in, but close enough to the edge that that you're keeping the fold lines where they should be. So what I'm going to do is just sew from here to here, about 1/8 of an inch in on both sides, and making sure to back stitch at the beginning and end of my stitching. What you're going to end up with is your completed wing pre-fold diaper. You can see the stitching on both sides of the soaker. The bottom is completely sewed up. And there's 2 ways that you can fold this diaper. You can either just tri-fold it at the bottom. Simple. Fold it up. Attach your wings. Or if you want something that's going to hold in a little bit more, you can kind of jelly roll those wings in. So it looks like this, and you can fold that up onto the baby and attach your wings. Pins or a snappy is fine. And I have my little model here, so I'll just show you really quick, and I'm just going to do the tri-fold just to make it easier. This is my daughter's teddy bear, so we'll just flip that up and attach the eyes. Actually, I do want to note, if you do need extra absorbency, you can lay a doubler down the center and then fold over your sides of the diaper and give you lots of absorbency. But right now I'm just going to do it with the diaper, and you will fold the wings in, and then you're just going to want to take your snappy or pins and we'll attach that on. And there you have it. Now you just put a cover over this, and your baby is ready to go with their recycled t-shirt winged pre-fold. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you'll join me again next time for another one of our adventures in fluff.